I'll be honest, I never thought there would be a game where blowing a bubble could be this difficult. That is until I played the Nakama Game Studio's remake of the underrated late 80s classic, Bubble Ghost. This remake offers a beautiful visual upgrade to the original, along with a new story about the ghost of a famous inventor named Heinrich von Schinker. After returning to his castle manor from a war, Heinrich discovers that his wife, a musician named Sophia, has gone missing. The only way for Heinrich to find Sophia is through a mysterious enchanted bubble that will guide him. However, everything in his home is eager to burst it. Not wanting to lose his chance to find his wife, Heinrich must protect the bubble at all costs. While playing, the main challenge in Bubble Ghost isn't Heinrich's own survival, since he's already a ghost, but it's making sure that the bubble reaches the other side of the level without popping. As you could imagine, bubbles are extremely fragile, so even the simplest touch can burst them. In this game, bats, snakes, spiders, candles, walls, or even coins can pop your bubble. At the start, Heinrich must blow a bubble and move it in the direction that he's facing, while navigating himself around with basic directional controls. Beyond simply blowing bubbles forward or upward, players can shift Heinrich's position to send the bubble horizontally or diagonally. There's also an option to flip him so he faces the opposite direction, which becomes crucial for quick adjustments and keeping the bubble out of harm's way. Trust me when I say that as you continue your search for Sophia, you'll face many tricky situations where you have to change positions as quickly as possible before an obstacle or enemy pops the bubble for no other reason than you being in the wrong place at the wrong time. No matter how careful you are, there will be a moment where the bubble pops, whether it's from an unexpected obstacle, an enemy, or even blowing too hard so it bumps into a wall. I've been frustrated more than once by popping the bubble just as I wanted to clear the level, but do I think this is a flaw? No, of course not. Bubble Ghost remains challenging in a good way, and I enjoyed navigating through each level with its beautiful cartoony style scenery, and this remake's visual design really brings the world to life. Your goal in the game is to protect the bubble and find Sophia by avoiding hazards, but it also includes puzzle elements in some levels. During this portion of gameplay, you may have to unlock a gate using robotic flies or use your breath to connect faulty wires in order to open up new paths. Of course, you also need to stay near the bubble at all times. Moving away for too long risks having it pop without you noticing. The added puzzle-solving approach makes reaching the end of the level a little more rewarding. At certain points in the stage, a bat may spot Heinrich in the bubble, triggering an intense chase sequence where you must quickly maneuver the bubble to the exit before the bat pops it. These chase sequences made up my second favorite part of the game, with my first being the boss fights. At the end of each section of the castle, Heinrich faces a boss fight against an animal that was once his friend, but is now determined to stop him by popping the bubble in its own unique way. These boss fights were my favorite levels. Each boss has a different style of attacking the bubble, and at one point, I got so distracted by how cool the boss animations were that I popped the bubble myself. Each attempt at the boss fight felt more straightforward than the last, but still enjoyable. It helps that the boss battle music is fun to listen to. Throughout your journey, you'll find collectibles such as relics from Heinrich's past, and these items give some insight to his life when he was a human, where we see him creating new inventions and hanging out with Sophia from time to time. Besides these relics, there are angelic rings that you can collect by pushing the bubble through them. These only stay around for a limited time, so you have to be quick and daring, which can be challenging if you prefer a more careful approach like I do. You'll also come across television screens that can help send Heinrich and the bubble through tight secret areas. These paths are optional, and if you want to return to the main level, the TV screens will let you do so. For fans of the original looking for a classic experience, the game has a mode that recreates the original Bubble Ghost. You work under a time limit, and your score depends on how quickly you get the bubble to the next level. Unlike the main story, which has unlimited lives, this mode gives you a set number of lives, and losing them all restarts you at level 1. It's an arcade-style challenge for those who like the thrill of lasting as long as they can without popping the bubble. Bubble Ghost also introduces a speedrun mode where you can try to navigate the game's world to achieve the best possible time. I appreciated that the developer included something for speedrunners, as it's kind of rare to see such a dedicated mode from other games. I'd recommend it for players with quick reflexes looking for an additional challenge. There's an assist mode that allows Heinrich to automatically move into a safe direction to blow the bubble. and you can toggle off auto-aiming if you find it frustrating. Although it has good intentions, I found it more of a hindrance than help. Heinrich often flipped directions unexpectedly, which did sometimes cause the bubble to pop. Assist mode also includes more checkpoints than other modes, yet I still don't think there's enough in the larger levels. Too often I was sent back to the very beginning when my bubble popped instead of a closer checkpoint. More frequent checkpoints would be welcome for players interested in a relaxed pace, or those who just want to focus on the story. I love that the game's main draw is its difficulty. While it's certainly challenging, Bubble Ghost Remake remains fun to play, even if you pop the bubble more times than you'd like to admit. The addition of a full story, which is absent in the original, brings extra depth and explains why Heinrich is so invested in keeping this bubble from bursting. And if this game taught us everything, if you're missing your wife, rely on a bubble and protect it at all costs. During my time with Bubble Ghost, I didn't encounter any glitches, which should be reassuring to players worried about technical performance. Any bubble popping failures were strictly due to my own mishaps. Even so, I enjoyed every moment, and I think that this remake is a solid blend of challenge, charm, and creativity. Noisy Pixel is giving Bubble Ghost Remake a 7.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by our supporters on Patreon. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers providing independent gaming coverage through news, reviews, previews, and more. Check out our Patreon to help support our continued growth, and subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy Pixel.